Hello everybody and welcome to a mod showcase for Supermarket Simulator for 2025. I am recording this video on the 24th of September 2025, so all of these work with the full version of the game and up to that date. Some of the mods that you see in this video I will not be featuring. I'll give a special shout out to those now. For example, the unrestricted placement mod that allows me to place shelving anywhere I like. The texture mod, which allows me to have all of these real life products in my store, as well as, for example, the permaday mod, which allows it to be daytime at all times. If you would like to see those mods, I will put a link in the description to a previous video I've made on mods. All of those mods will be featured in that video. I'll also throw a card up on screen now, so if you're interested in those mods specifically, go and check that video out because I have covered them in the past. So the mods I'm going to feature in this video are generally quality of life mods, so if you're not looking to make too much of a difference to your game, then these mods are probably for you. The first one I'm going to feature is the StockMaster mod. Now, usually in this game, there are a few products such as toilet paper, potato bags, chicken, the big sushi, where you can't get that many on your shelf. And it's always been a little bit irritating when you can only get 2 toilet papers on per slot on the shelves. You have to have entire shelving dedicated to just that product, just so you can keep enough stock on the shelves. But with this mod, that changes completely. What it basically does is it shrinks the products down just a little bit, but actually to a more realistic size, and enables you to get more on. So for example, over here, the chicken has 8 on it instead of the usual 4, and kind of looks like it utilizes the space in the freezer a little bit better. Over here, the big sushi does exactly the same, with another 8 slots now open instead of the usual 4. Over here, we have our toilet roll, which has been shrunk down to, I say, a more realistic size, and also is now facing out towards the store. So you can actually see the branding of the toilet paper coming out into the store, which I think looks a lot better for your shelving as well. And it does the same for the potato bags too, getting 6 on per shelf rather than the usual amount. I think this works a lot better. It saves you having to have entire racks dedicated to all of these products. You can actually get these on now with a more realistic amount for the shelving, which helps quite a lot with restocking. So the second mod that I'm going to feature in this video is the more detailed computer inventory and the more detailed tablet inventory. Now, I'm putting these two together because they are quite similar mods. They work hand in hand. They basically do exactly the same thing, just one is for the computer and one is for your tablet. So you might see a load of different colors on the screen at the moment. So let's break them down. Well, here we've got Fruity Pebbles. I've got 24 out of 24 on my shelving in store. That is complete stock, so it is green. I have 6 of 24 in my storeroom, so that's gone yellow because it's low on stock, but it's not completely out. If it gets lower than that, it will go an amber color and then red if it is fully sold out. It's a bit like the old RCD stock manager in that respect, but it just gives you that extra bit of detail, doesn't it? It gives you what you have on your shelving, what you have in your storeroom, and then just the complete amount. It helps break it down a little bit easier so you know exactly what's going on in your store. It also comes with these handy new sort features as well, so you can have this sorted by percentage as well as boxes. So if you want to see it in box form or in percentage, then you can do just that. I prefer products. For me, it's a little bit easier to understand than the others. And then you can sort it by the various different ones as well. Now, I prefer to have this on storage quantity because I find that's much better for running a store, because you can see we've got none of these Cheez-Its. So I need to buy a lot of these. And as long as you keep the storage number quite high, the store will take care of itself. So I think that's a really useful mod for keeping on top of all of your stock levels and knowing what to buy and how many to buy at any one time. And it just really helps you keep the store well stocked. I will just give a quick shout out before we look at the tablet version of this to another mod that I'm not featuring in this, and it is the discount helper. So if you want to set discounts in this game, usually you have to go through every single one individually. With the discount helper, if you click the sale sign here, you can slide this to whatever you want for your discount, and it will set it for all products for you all the way down. So if you want to have a 15% sale across all items, that just makes it a little bit easier. So on to the tablet version of the mod. So in the base game, this is basically what you would see. You would see how many come in a box and how many you have in total, both in your store and in your storeroom. But for us, if I head over to, say, these Lay's Crisps, I can see that I have 16 of 16 of these on my shelving, and I have 20 of 32 of these in my storage. So it just means that whilst you're on the move, you can walk around and you can see at any one time how things are doing both in your storeroom and in your store. So I think that works very well hand in hand with the other mod for keeping better track of all of your stock. For our third mod in this video, we're going to be staying with the tablet and scanner, and we're going to be looking at the SmartScanner app. So what does the SmartScanner app do? It enables you to purchase multiples of items from your scanner without having to click through lots and lots of time, and it will even work out how many you can actually fit both on your shelves and in your storage. In that regard, it's a little bit like the Refill All mod on the PC, except it doesn't actually do it for all products in store. You just do this individually as you walk around. So if I was to come over to potatoes, for example, and click my middle mouse button, it has calculated that I need 2 of those, and that's all I can fit in my storage and store, so 2 is enough. It will also do that for the onions, where it is 2 again, and 2 again for the carrots. If, for example, you come across something that you can't fit in anymore, for example, we've come over here to the Lay's Crisps, I press it again, and it doesn't matter what I do, I cannot purchase those because I can't fit those in my storeroom. So that stops you overbuying as well. For example, it knows that 16 of those will not fit in my storage because I have 20 of 32, so I will not be able to buy those. So it stops you overbuying things, and it's quite a nice way of walking around the store and just getting hold of things. You can also press the Alt key or the Control key to either just purchase things for in-store or just purchase things for in the storeroom. So it's quite a useful thing to have to walk around and be able to purchase things like that, and you know exactly how many you're going to be buying because it's done all the calculations for you. So I think it's quite a handy little mod. So our fourth mod in this video is the half off mod. The eagle-eyed amongst you may notice that I have half off all of my prices. These are all the wholesale prices. So this mod basically puts everything to the wholesale prices. So if you go around the map, you can get everything for half off. Everything is on half price sale. This mod basically just puts it in the PC for you so that you don't really need to go shopping to those places. You can just have it on here. It is configurable as well. You can set any discount that you wish. So if you want less than half off, you can. Or if you want more, you can also do that. I think this is good for people who don't necessarily want to do the full grind of the game, but enjoy doing the supermarket side. You just don't care too much about worrying about finance. You just want to buy the products and put them on your shelves. Then this mod is probably for you. You may have also noticed that I have over $1 million in my account. That is not a mod. I actually altered the file of the game to get that money. If you are interested in being able to do that, I will leave a link to the video in which I show how to do that in the description as well. So for mod number 5, we have the Scannable local market products. So what is this mod all about? Well, in the base game, if you come to the wholesalers, you really have no idea what you can fit in your store unless you make a shopping list. If you make a real life shopping list or write it down somewhere, then you have a rough idea of what you need. There was a little hack going around where you could scan everything on your tablet before you leave of the things that you need and then read them from the list that on the cart here, but it was just like a little bit of a workaround. Well, with this mod, that is a thing of the past because I can scan all of the market items up here. So in conjunction with the more detailed tablet inventory that we've already looked at, I can see whether or not I need to buy butter or pasta from the wholesalers. And this just makes it so much easier when you come to the wholesalers to know if you need to buy anything or not. So if you're just up here making a delivery and you decide just to call into the wholesaler and see if you can get some cheap goods, you can do just this and find exactly what you need. It makes the whole process much, much simpler. You can purchase it at wholesale price as well by pressing F, and it will purchase it at wholesale price rather than anything else. However, if you don't run the auto tool switcher, which is a recommended mod, when you press F, for example, and it purchases it, it does put your tablet away, so it's a good idea to run the auto tool switcher to bring it up a little bit easier each time, but it's still worthwhile having in my book because it just gives you that information you don't have up here at the wholesalers. It's the only way that you can actually see what you've got in your inventory when you're on the move. So it is a great mod for that. It also recommends the local market express delivery. I'm not currently using that. That would just beam things back to your store from here. You may have seen a box fly back when we purchased that. Well, that is mod number 6, which is the local market loading delivery service. So when I purchase things from in here, for example, if I want that and I want that, they fly back into my truck here and it auto loads for me. So that saves a lot of the back and forth. If you're here buying 15 boxes, there's a lot of back and forth to try and get all of your stuff in here, but all I have to do is walk up to something, purchase it, and it flies back into your truck, and there you go. For mod number 8, we have come to get ourselves some fuel. Now, in this game, refueling is pretty slow, isn't it? Anybody that has done it will know that it takes quite a while to refuel, but not with the faster refueling mod, which is also configurable, so you can have this as fast as you want to, really. It can almost be instantaneous. But the one it comes with actually feels quite realistic to me. So if we refuel now, I'll put a side-by-side up compared to normal. And as you can see, that is so much faster and saves so much time than having it just trickle into the tank. So the faster refueling mod is a must in my book. So the 8th mod in this video is to do with the self-checkouts. And as you can see, in the base game, they go quite slowly. They're very precise over putting every item through. It takes them quite a long time to get their shopping done. Unless you've got a lot of self-checkouts, the queues can end up building up just because of their slow speed. Well, the faster self-checkout mod fixes this. It is a configurable mod. You can have them go as fast or as slow as you want. I quite like to try and make it somewhat realistic if possible. So I'm going to show you it in action now. So comparing how they are in the base game to when they have been ramped up to the max, as you can see, that is way faster. And then if you play around with the config for long enough, you can get something that is semi-realistic where things don't happen too quickly, but they don't happen too slowly either, which I think is a lot more realistic for your self-checkouts. So the 9th mod we're going to have a look at is when you're at the end of the day and you're waiting for all of your restockers to finally finish restocking your store, wouldn't it be nice if they could work overnight? Well, with this mod, Overtime Restockers, they can. Now, this comes with dynamic pricing. You can have it at a fixed price so that you can choose a salary for your overnight restockers and they get paid, or you can have it dynamic and it goes on based on how much work that they have done overnight. I've left it on dynamic, so if we just press enter, as you can see, our staff charges is going to be $873 for the day and night. So when you get into the next day, everything has been done for you. The restockers have put everything on the shelves, the store has been cleaned, everything is good to go for the next day with no more restocking necessary. I quite like this mod because there is a financial element to it. Now, you can fix the prices and pay them as little as you want. You could even have it done for free. But if you give them an overnight salary, it actually makes the game a little bit more realistic to the fact that you have overnight restockers coming in, you pay them a salary, and then everything is fine for the next day. It saves the waiting around, but you can also pay for it to keep the game balanced. So if mod number 9 was not for you, well, maybe mod number 10 will be, and that is flash stock. So what does flash stock do? Well, in the morning, so before you start the day, the restockers will stock at a quicker pace than they do at any other time. As soon as you start the day, they act completely like normal restockers again. Even at night, they act like completely normal restockers. But as soon as you get to the morning, they restock things much, much faster. And they do this via teleportation. So I will show you how that works now. So I'm just going to put in order in and get it delivered outside. So we'll make sure we don't get this delivered to storage. Let's have this delivered outside, and I'll show you what happens. You hear that noise? So all of these boxes, the restockers will now teleport their way to wherever these boxes need to go. So you can have this running. They will only do this in the morning. They will not do this throughout the day. So it just helps with that overnight restocking. So if you don't want the overnight restockers and the payment system and all of that thing going on, you could just have this, and they will just beam the boxes to wherever they need to go, teleport them around, and they can quickly get rid of a pile of boxes, as you see there, in seconds, and then be ready to go again later. So that is the end then of this mod showcase. I hope you enjoyed the selection of mods that I have brought to you today. If you did, make sure to leave the video a like. If you've got any mods that you use personally that you wish were included in this video, why don't you drop them in the comments below so we can all check them out, and maybe I'll do another video at some point featuring those particular ones. If you are new to modding and you have no idea where to start, do not worry. I have a video for that will possibly pop up on the screen at the end of this video. If not, it'll be in the description. And if you have enjoyed this video, make sure you leave it a like. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. And I'll see you for another video very soon.